Okay, so this is the first step in creating your project. So what you want to go to is Keynote. Okay, it should be in that little rocket ship. If it's not, go up to the little N up in the top by your time and download Keynote. All right, so this is the opening page in Keynote. You can just pick a very basic white, totally fine. Okay, and it'll open up this slide. Fabulous. We want a very plain thing. So I'm going to highlight all these and just click delete. So I want a very basic slide. Next thing I'm going to do is I want a background color. So over here where it says background, if you don't have this, you're going to click up here in format. And we are going to green screen our project here. So you're going to click the color green. Awesome. Okay, so now that I have a green screen that I will put my graph on, I need to now go and get my graph. So to go get my graph, I'm going to go to Chart. We're going to stick with the 2D. I'm going to scroll over because it's a green screen. I don't want a green graph. I want the black graph. All right, so here's going to be our sample of our graph. Now this is not my data. This is not useful to me. So what I'm going to do is click Edit Chart Data. And notice there's two regions, region 1 and region 2. That's if we were graphing two different options. We only have one option, so I'm going to click the first region here, or the second region. Two-finger click and just hit cut. It goes away. You could also just delete all of that. Now, most of you are going to have time down on your x-axis. So you're going to start to type in your time options. So that's 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, hello, 2, there we go, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, let's see, I'm going to only go up to 10. Obviously yours might be a little bit longer, no big deal. Okay, so you want to make that time up along the top, whatever the amount of time of your video is. So if you filmed a 30-second video, it should be 0 to 30 up there. Okay, now I'm going to enter in my variables or functions, whatever you decided to graph. So I did mine on the building blocks. So for the first one, I had no building blocks. Okay, and then I put in one building block at 3, so that went up to 2 centimeters. Then it was at 2, oops. Okay, and then it went up to 6 seconds. It went up to 4 centimeters tall. Okay, then at 9, it went up to 6 centimeters tall. We got to get all the way over here to 10, and it stayed at 6. Excellent. So once I have all my data in here and it looks good, you feel confident about it, you're going to click the X button. Okay, and here's that graph that I had just put in all my data for. This is looking pretty nice. It's a little bit weird over here, but as you can see on my x-axis, we've got my 0 through 10, and that's looking good. So now let's go in and let's fix our graph. All right, so let's click Format here. Okay, so I'm going to click on my graph, and I clicked Format up in the corner. It looks like a little paintbrush. Okay, so the first thing that I need is a title. My title here, I'm going to do time versus height. Okay, yours is going to be whatever you're graphing. So if you do time versus height, time versus velocity, most of you are probably going to be some kind of measurement of time versus something. All right, so now I'm going to go back to chart over here. I am also going to need, let's click on the y-axis. Come on. All right, so now that I have clicked on my y-axis, I also need a label. Let's see, where did that go? Come on. Axis, there we go. Okay, so I clicked over an axis. Okay, this will give me my X and Y's. So I'm going to start with my Y. I need a name over here. And again, this is going to be in height. Oh, let's see if I can spell that right. Okay, and again, my height was in centimeters. Oh boy, not good at this. Okay, so you want to make sure that whatever you're labeling it in, was it centimeters, inches, heights, meters, you do it, there it goes. All right, so I'm going to go back to chart. on that. Access titles. Where did you go? Oh boy, come on. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to have to do my x-axis. I'm going to go back over to x. I want it to give it a name. This is going to be time in seconds. Okay, so far things are looking pretty good. Now you'll notice that again, I kind of jump around some weird things over here. So I'm going to see if I can change that. So my scale here, obviously my max is going to be 6. I'm going to put 8 because why not? And I want it to be in steps of 1. Oh, let's do steps of 8. There we go. So you want your max to meet your major. So I've got steps 0 to 8 centimeters. Obviously, if I wanted half ones in there, I could do 16. Okay, and there it fills in half. So just kind of play around with your scale and steps to make sure that it matches whatever you would like over here. Okay, so I've got time good. I've got height good. My graph looks really nice. All right, if you've got anything else you want to change about your graph, ask your teacher, and then we should be able to kind of help you out a little bit. All right. We don't want any background fill. If you'd like your line to be a little bit weird, you got these options. You can make it a little bit thicker. So there's that line that's a little bit thicker. Let's change these over here to maybe be a little bit thicker. Nope. Okay, we'll go back down to 1. All right. I feel like this is pretty good. I'm feeling pretty solid about this. All right. So now that I have my graph, what I want my graph to do is I want it to come across as the seconds go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here, I'm going to click on it, I'm going to click animate. We want it to build in, and we want it to build in as a wipe. Beautiful. So that looked just like it did in our graph stories that we watched. Now, obviously it's 10 seconds long here. I'll make this a little bit bigger. There we go. So it'll fill up my whole page. Now, if I want it to be 10 seconds from the left, all right, so let's click play and see what it does. This is strange. Oh, it's going on my dual screen here. Hold on. There we go. Let's review. Play. There we go. So you see it's just white 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and that should match my video. All right, now that we have this, you're going to go up to File, and we're going to Export, and we're going to export it to a movie. Okay, once we have an export from a movie, self-playing, beautiful. We don't have any different slides. Everything looks good. Resolution you can leave in 720 or 1080, whatever you would like. We're going to hit next. Okay, and you're just going to save it. So I'm going to save it as graph project and just hit export. Now it's creating its movie and it is going to go straight to my desktop. That's all you have to do for this segment of Keynote. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.